kind of unifying aspect, and it articulated the views, you know, of that generation. I think there's many other different ways to do that, but there is a need for songs. You know, I'm often getting invited to come down to Occupy and play a few songs, and I'm happy to do that. And I think my role in it is to try and articulate to these young people who are just, you know, making their first steps. They may feel like I felt when I first went to Rock Against Racism, which was, we're the first people that have ever had to deal with this problem. Going to Rock Against Racism, I met veterans from the Spanish Civil War, you know, who've been fighting against fascism since the 1930s. And I realised that every generation has to work out how to deal with those kind of problems. And it's the same with Occupy. And particularly with this generation, you know, I think they are the first generation who have the opportunity to articulate the compassionate ideal that is at the core of what we believe in. You know, I don't believe that socialism is really worth that name if it is not at core a form of organised compassion. That's what a welfare state is. That's what free healthcare in the United States will be. It will be a form of organised compassion. And but this generation are the first generation who have the opportunity to articulate this idea without being tainted by totalitarianism, without the shadow of Stalinism over them. So I'm very excited about it. You know, I've done some meetings where young people have, you know, stood up and articulated where they're coming from and what they're hoping to achieve through the Occupy movement and the anti-cuts movement. And I've seen people I know who are my age and older, who are old Marxists, shaking their heads vigorously as if to say, you know, I'm sorry, these are not the dance steps that we do. Well, you know what? Never mind all that. Don't listen, you know, you don't need the Marxists to come along and tell us how to do a revolution. You know, the language of Marxism that we used in the 20th century doesn't really resonate with people anymore. And I don't think that's a problem. You know, I think that we shouldn't be hidebound. You know, the reality is the problems that Marx was trying to address have not been dealt with. They've still got to be dealt with. But this generation needs to be given the space to deal with it. So rather than me turning up and, you know, leading from the front on the barricades, I try and sort of encourage younger songwriters to go down there and perform. And if I'm performing at all, I'm taking old songs and rejigging them for the new millennium. This particular one, he says, picking up his guitar again, and hoping he can remember all the words for it. This is a very old song, but written by a woman called Florence Reese, and I did a version of it during the miners' strike, and I've done another different version with a slightly different tune, and kind of patched it together from lots of different things. I think the last verse of the song is, which I thought was pretty apposite, is actually taken from Woody Guthrie's Pretty Boy Floyd. So it's kind of like a bit of 30s, bit of 40s, bit of...
Clemently paid the bankers to their responsibilities, made them pay their taxes, but Thatcher set them free. The Big Bang blew the walls down, the bankers got away. Exactly where their tracks now, everyone must pay. Which side are you on? 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 The left is dead, the media said, that's a goddamn lie. That which they could never kill went on to occupy. And in the camps our watchword is accountability. In London and in Wall Street we demand transparency. Which side are you on? 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 As through this world you travel, you meet some funny men. Some rob you with a six-gun and some with a fountain pen. As through this life you ramble, as through this life you roam, you'll never see an outlaw take a family from their home. Which side are you on? 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 Which side are you on?
Of course, my problem is nobody in my country under the age of 40 knows who Clem Attlee is anymore. So Clem Attlee was a centre forward for Preston North End. No, he was the Prime Minister when we had the welfare state camp. He was a man who was described as being very modest, and Churchill said, yeah, he's got a lot to be modest about. That's Winston Churchill, Witch Hunter General. Movie coming your way very soon.
Well, I'd like to wrap this up by thanking the Old Town School for hosting this, which is a fabulous event. For inviting me to join him on this, and you can see him Monday at the Hideout and Friday at Space, right? Saturday at Space. And thank you, because you've been a great audience and brought out a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks to Mark Carroll from the tribute too.
Yeah.
And thanks most of all to Billy Bragg for being so generous with his insight. Thank you.